and today I would like to discuss about another important topic, which is important in case of learning any computer programming language. It's topic of statements and comments. So first thing first, statement, right? It sounds like kind of generic, right? What a statement is. But essentially, like if you're looking at this code here, at this syntax, for instance, this first line, essentially you can call this first line as a statement, right? It's statement, and statement essentially it's like a, it's essentially that's how you communicate with the computer, right? You write this statement and computer going to interpret it somehow, and the interpretation is determined by the computer programming language. And of course there are more details to that, and yeah, but essentially if this syntax or statement is legitimate in case of this language, then computer will understand what you're trying to say. So you also, I guess, probably noticed already in previous tutorials I used at the end almost everywhere using semicolon, right? Okay guys, as in comparison, I would like to talk about if you compare statement with the basic sentence in real life, right? So for instance, I don't know, we have sentence, my name is Dmitry, right? And this sentence at the end, how it ends, right? It ends with comma. In computer programming languages, instead of commas, we use this semicolon. Again, in some languages it's mandatory to use it, and otherwise when you run your program it's not going to run, right? It's going to give you error. In JavaScript it's not necessary to use this semicolon, but it's a good practice, And what I found is all the developers, all the dev developers, they follow this pattern of following these best practices. Just remember guys, it's a good practice to place semicolon at the end in case of JavaScript, but it's not mandatory. Essentially your program is going to work even without, if you forgot to place semicolon at the end of the statement. So guys, but what about comments, right? What comment is, and why do we need them? Imagine it's just, in our case it's just a small program, right? It's like 2 lines of code, nothing special about that, not a big deal, and super simple, basic. But imagine if you have a really complex program, right? And it consists of probably multiple files or multiple lines of code. In this case it's becoming more and more complicated, right, to maintain it and to understand what's going on, to follow the flow of the program. In this case, if you comment different sections or different blocks of your code, down the road is going to be super helpful, because you would understand like straight away from the comment what this piece of code is doing. And trust me, at the end of the day, if you have a huge project, it would save you immense amount of time. Okay, let's jump into the writing comments. I will start from writing comment, and it's so-called single line comment. For instance, I would like to say this it console. Okay, it outputs my name. It's not self-explanatory, right? It's not like super meaningful comment, but again, that's how you write the comments. First, you have to define two forward slashes, followed one by one, and then you actually write in the comment. And actually, if you execute this piece of code, or our program again, it's going to work. Let's see. Here we go, guys. We still have an output, and it works because it's ignoring this line, because the IDE or the program, like the not understand, like the environment, JavaScript environment, understand that essentially it's not a code, it's a comment, right? And please don't touch it. So in some cases, instead of defining just or writing just one line of comments, we have to write a multi-line comment, right? So how to do it? So you still have to define like first forward slash, then asterisk, then you start writing your comments. This console logs out my name, and in the next line we can write something like, and my name is Dmitry. So in order to, you can see right now everything is defined as the comment. Why it happens? It happens because we didn't finish or we didn't end the actual, well, like we need to specify, we need to give an idea to a program or to environment where this comment ends. So in order to do that, you have to define you have to type asterisk and then forward slash again. So, and that's how you define the multi-line comment. So if you run once again, it still should work. It still works. And the idea is, so usually, trust me guys, on an everyday basis as a software developer, I write different comments because we have to do it. It's a best practice. It's a best practice to follow. Otherwise, if you just begin to work, later on, more experienced software developers, they will let you know that you have to do it. You have to write comments. Even sometimes it looks like it's a waste of time, but trust me, it's not the case. Comments can be really helpful, and comments should be as neat as possible. For instance, this kind of comments, they don't really make a lot of sense, but it's just an example, right? In real life, we have to be as consistent as possible with comments in order to make sense of that. So that's pretty much it what I wanted to cover in this tutorial, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video, and please subscribe if you haven't done it yet. I will continue posting a new tutorials from this series of JavaScript course, and down the road I'm going to discuss about types of variables, which is, as I mentioned before, they not really exist. You don't need to define the types in JavaScript, but I'm still going to discuss about how it works, how it really works, and about a lot of really interesting details of JavaScript programming language. Thank you very much, guys, again. Goodbye.